What's up, everybody? Wellness Week Live. I am your host, DJ Anthony. I got a special guest, my friend Mike, today. And Mike, how are you? Thanks for coming on Wellness Week Live.
Hey, Anthony. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Now, by the way, we're just talking. We're not giving any medical advice or legal advice or anything like that. We're just two friends talking. Now, Mike, you and I spoke, and today's topic is the war on food. I think you coined that because, Mike, you and I were talking about a day or so ago, and we are talking about drugs, the war on drugs, and then you had kind of mentioned in passing, oh, yeah, the war on food is also detrimental to our society. I said, oh, wow, that's so insightful and cool that you came up with that phrase, the war on food. And so I wanted to kind of delve into that, how the food supply in our country, what we eat, most of it, not all of it, but the processed food, the fast food, that stuff is killing us more than the actual street drugs, more than fentanyl, more than cocaine, more than heroin. And not that, street drugs are not a problem. Heroin and fentanyl are a problem. But
do you have stats on that, actually?
I do. And here are the stats. It's jaw-dropping. So here we go. And this is from the CDC. So last year, fentanyl killed 74,702 people. Devastating. And we have to do something about that. We can't just say, well. However, type 2 diabetes, which is directly linked to processed foods, that's your fried stuff and your cake and your cookies and your muffins and your, bread, 101,209 people died from type 2 diabetes last year, in 2003. That is, wow. So, it's just shocking to me that everybody's up in arms about fentanyl, and rightfully so. But everything else, type 2 diabetes, big deal, you die. Hey, you die. Those deaths are okay. So, my question to you is, and you're pretty popular. I hear this ding, ding, ding going on over there. So, it's hard being you. So, what I wanted to ask you was, what gave you that thought to say, use the phrase war on food? Like, what did you notice about our country and living, here that made you pop that off and make that, come up with that phrase?
Well, Anthony, as
a... Are you? We've been friends a long time, but go ahead.
I've known Anthony. I call him Mr. C very affectionately.
Right. Don't ask why. Yeah. Keep it moving, Mike.
Anyway, Anthony, as a society, we focus on the effects of drugs and violence and other traumas, and rightfully so. But sadly, there is one surprisingly legal killer that is seemingly untouchable, and it's something a very large segment of society abuses every day, and that's the food that we eat.
Yeah.
As far back as 2004, when I first saw the film Super Size Me,
yes,
I learned that we are the fattest nation in the world.
Right. Now, by the way, you're not allowed to, and I just want to say, we're not fat shaming. Big is beautiful, that's great, but big is not healthy. To do two different things. But go ahead.
Right. No, of course. And that was just a stat from the actual film.
Right.
But, obesity is an epidemic.
And I want to stop you there, too. Obesity is a problem. But, Mike, I think, and you tell me what you think, but a lot of people think, well, I'm not obese. And
well, hold on. We'll get there.
Okay.
So, sadly, many communities don't have the socioeconomic status to afford to eat healthy, nor are they aware of their damaging effects. Not only are they priced out of the best options, certain fast food establishments in recent months have decided to jack up their prices,
right,
depending on the time of day, punishing their most loyal customers. Yet these same companies have record profits.
Right.
It truly is a war on food. How is it legal to serve foods with one cheeseburger from a company that I won't name, I found had 55 grams of fat per serving.
Right.
For comparison, that is currently the amount of fat that I'm allotted to consume per day.
Right.
Per day, over the course of 6 to 7 meals that I eat in one day.
Right. A lot of
and I sometimes don't even get near that number. But many of these consumers are underinformed users, such as children, which large companies exploit.
Right. Now, a lot of that, yes, you're right. A segment of our population cannot afford to eat healthy, but that doesn't explain all of those numbers and deaths because, as you know, you and I both have friends who have money, but they just love eating crap, and they're either pre-diabetic or I know people who are type 2 diabetic. We're not talking about type 1, type 2, and they got money. They have college education, and they're killing themselves. And I think that's more the percentage of people than just that, people who don't have the money. That's more also, I think, education. If you don't have the knowledge or you don't care to know. But yes,
well, Anthony, I think
there's
sadly,
deserts, yes,
a lot of people, as smart as they are, it's like something that they just don't know. For example, you and I both know a person who once you had asked her, oh, like, what do you eat healthy? What do you eat? And she goes, oh, I eat healthy every morning. Right. I eat a croissant.
Right. Correct. And by the way, I was guilty of that too. Not so many years ago, I thought eating a croissant was healthy. I thought eating sandwiches were healthy. I thought, having an iced tea instead of a soda was healthy. That wasn't too long ago. Within 15
Mr. C, we all do that. For example, as children, I'm sure you grew up in the 80s. I grew up in the 90s. What was the first thing you had in the morning? A sugary bowl of cereal.
Of course. Yeah. We thought that was healthy.
And there's zero protein. And then you're supposed to function for the rest of the day till lunch, learning or working.
And no fiber.
There's nothing in there that's healthy. All it is sugar that hypes you up, and then you have a crash later in the day.
Right. I think it's more of an education problem that people don't know or don't want to know, or just, nowadays we do have a cell phone that can give us that information, but people, I think, there's an addictive quality to those foods, no doubt. But my point, right, is that this is killing us more than fentanyl. People, nobody really cares. Everyone's up in arms with fentanyl, rightfully so. But what about this type 2 diabetes from processed carbs? Like I said, the crap that we eat. Someone was saying today, I'm not going to name the company, but saying that this deli meat was being recalled, and is it okay to eat it now? And I chimed in, it's never okay to eat it. Deli meat is full of nitrates and processed. It's not natural. It's killing us. But anyways, so what made you?
Well, hold on. Before you go on, you said something very interesting. A lot of it is blissful ignorance, right? Like, McDonald's is tasty.
Right.
Like, I love a Big Mac, but I don't eat it like I used to. You might find me at a McDonald's once a year these days, unless I'm drinking their coffee without any sugar or anything. Like, I don't actually, you and I went to McDonald's actually. Oh,
yeah, well back.
Say McDonald's.
No, but it's true. But listen, to back you up on that, and to also add this is not 1980 anymore. There are many, many healthy options at McDonald's, at Wendy's. For instance, you and I love going to Wendy's. Instead of getting French fries for the same price, you can get the baked potato. Still a potato, but much healthier than the French fry.
You and I go to diners all the time.
You can get a water instead of soda.
We get wraps, right? Like, we'll order a wrap, for example.
Right.
90% of the time, you and I never get the French fry. I don't know. I'm going to actually say 100% of the time we never get the French fries. We always get broccoli.
Right. But these are things that, so people say, oh, I have to eat a fast food. Okay, you can eat a fast food, but why not just get a bottle of water? Why are you getting the soda or the diet soda? So, at some point, it's responsibility too. People can't wash their hands of it and say, well, I'm poor. It costs, by the way, the type 2 diabetes pandemic and epidemic is also lack of getting up and moving. It costs nothing to walk. Oh, I can't afford a gym membership. It costs nothing to walk. So,
it costs nothing to go to the park. A lot of these parks have, machines that you can use. You could do push-ups. You could do sit-ups. Look, I'm a firm believer in physical fitness. It changed my life when I was 22 years old.
What made you do that? Why? Because what happened in your life?
Well, I was very skinny growing up, and I also have ADHD.
Right.
And ADHD was in the 90s and 80s relatively new. And it was treated, and it still is treated, with use of Ritalin or amphetamines. So one of the side effects to that is you have a lack of appetite.
Right.
And at 6 foot tall, when I was 18 years old, I graduated high school at 95 pounds. 17 years old, going on 18. My first semester at college, I gained the freshman 15, and I was actually feeling good about myself for the first time. And I actually felt like a normal person. And then, stress of school and whatnot, it got to points where I couldn't eat. I made a decision on Christmas Day, 2007 to stop taking Ritalin. Yeah. And my final semester of college, I put on 25 pounds of healthy weight.
Nice.
And then I eventually took that and I went to a gym.
Right.
And the first day that I sat in a gym, I hired a trainer for a couple sessions. And that trainer had me write down everything that I eat over the course of 3 days. And he was like, well, it's no wonder you don't gain weight. You don't eat. Right. I would usually eat a sandwich from a deli, a chain deli on a local, and then I would have like my cereal or eggs in the morning, and then I'd have a dinner. I was eating 3 times a day, and honestly, I wasn't getting enough protein, and I wasn't getting the caloric amount that I had to eat. And now that I'm learning the science behind what I need to eat in order to either gain weight, maintain, or lose body fat, I'm in firm control of my destiny. And it's a great power to know what you're eating. And I don't like, Anthony, I don't use the word diet. I have stopped. That word is out of my lexicon.
It's a word. It's a non-starter. Yeah.
But it's the thing is, you're never going to diet. Dieting is forever. It's my nutritional. It's my nutrition.
Lifestyle.
It's what I eat. It's my lifestyle. So like, and I have an app that I track all my food in. I have my macros, which your macronutrients are your proteins, your fats, your carbs, and your total caloric intake for food or whatever per day. And I eat about 3,000 calories a day.
Yeah.
And that's to lose weight, to lose fat.
Right.
People think if you eat more, there's this stigma. Oh, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to stop eating. No, your body needs nutrition to function. Yeah, you need carbs, you need fat, you need energy. So your body will actually start storing more fat.
Right. Well, I want to say, jump in, because I don't want to put a bad label on, because a lot of people say, oh, carbs are bad. No, processed carbs are bad, not natural carbs. So natural carbs are from your vegetables and your nuts, things like that. And yes, if you're an extreme athlete and you're going to run a marathon, you would want to eat pasta the night before. But if you're not running a marathon, you don't need, Americans don't know moderation. So my thing is, you know what? Just don't eat it, because
we. But Anthony, I'll be honest with you. I eat pasta I literally ate pasta today. I eat 8 ounces of it, and
that's for nothing. Every day, correct?
I work out 5 to 6 days a week.
Right. So do I. But
honestly, even on my rest day, I'll do an active rest day where I'll go hiking or I go jogging or I go running. You don't have to get rid of foods you like. Honestly, I found great recipes online, on Instagram, on social media. I make my own pizza at home, and it fits in my lifestyle.
Well, I would say there are foods that you really cannot touch, and that is anything fried. You cannot touch that. Now, I'm not saying once
I don't eat fried foods.
What's that?
I don't eat fried foods. They actually hurt my stomach. I used to have stomach in my 20s and my teens. Right. I had extreme stomach problems. I was diagnosed with IBS when I was 19 years old. Irritable bowel syndrome. Yeah. I had to get a what do you call that? The procedure where they do the usually you get 40.
Oh, you mean the colonoscopy?
Colonoscopy. I had to get a colonoscopy at 19 years old. Yeah. And, it wasn't fun. No. And let me tell you, when I learned that, it took me a couple more years to the trainer. That was 2006. 2011 is when I started to really hone in on what I was eating. Right. No, I noticed immediately I would eat grilled chicken every single day.
Right.
No problems. If I start the day with eggs, like I don't usually go out to like chain restaurants anymore for breakfast. Or if I do, I'm eating bland. My stomach has to get coated. Once I coat myself with like eggs and some turkey bacon and a cup of coffee, I'm good for the day, and I could take on what I want to eat.
Right. No, I'm just saying, because you said before, like you don't have to sacrifice. You could eat certain things really people shouldn't eat, and that is anything fried. I would say honestly, if it's once a year or once a month, maybe like cake or cookies, that's all garbage. And Americans don't.
Not for nothing though, Anthony. Again, I'm going to cut you off there. I eat cookies every day. I make cookies at home.
Okay,
and I make them with high quality ingredients. Hold on, they're low fat. They have protein, and the carbs are decent.
But most Americans are not doing that. What are they going to do? They're going to go and get the name brand cookie off the shelf. That's
like, what I'm telling you, though. You don't have to. When people think of dieting, right? Like dieting, brown rice and chicken and broccoli. I haven't had broccoli in I don't know how long.
Right.
You want to know why? I have food. I ate a pink pasta for lunch. It was a beet mixture in there. I'm eating, when we wrap up here, I'm eating cheeseburgers.
Right.
I eat lean beef. I eat 96.4.
Right. But people usually don't either have the money or time to do what you're doing. So what are they going to do? They're going to go to the fast food chain and get that hamburger, and they're going to think it's good. It's not. Yeah, if you can get a organic, grass-fed, grass-finished chopped meat.
Those are expensive.
Right. I doubt you're eating garbage chopped meat, but people, so if you can do it, fine.
If someone's in a pinch and they have to go to a fast food retailer, you could easily get a grilled chicken sandwich. Some of these places have grilled chicken nuggets, grilled chicken strips. You avoid the sauces. You do a mustard, which is 0 calorie, or you do you bring your own ketchup. Like I actually make my own sauces sometimes.
Right.
I look silly when I go, but guess what? They fit my macros. I can still go out and have fun with my friends and still be on point. Well, you and I went to dinner. You and I had lunch about 8 months ago. It was this year. And we went to a restaurant, and you were laughing at me because I was asking the waiter how many ounces was the salmon that I ordered. And you were like, hey, why are you doing that? Yeah. And I was like, you're like, it's healthy. Salmon is healthy. But the 12-ounce salmon that they gave me, I exceeded my amount of fat for the day.
Right.
I didn't hit my goal.
Now you're up there. You're up there in the pantheon of really being fine-tuned machine. Most Americans are nowhere near that. So
but Anthony, people can do this. This is nothing that I'm doing. I didn't invent the wheel.
No, but it's baby steps, right? You crawl, you walk, you run. You're already running. So for somebody that's living on crap food and soda, I would say first baby step, water, not soda. Then do that for a little while. Then you move up, and through the months you get close to what Mike is now. But yeah, people, and by the way, people will say, well, I don't got money, but you got money for Netflix, you got money for how many pairs of shoes, you got money for the hang out with the boys, you got money for drinking alcohol. People, you got money to eat healthy. And to your point, Mike, if you try to
barely touch alcohol. I mean, I used
to. No, but I'm saying, but you're talking about cooking at home. That's great. More people, we all can learn how to cook at home. Once you learn how to cook your own foods, that alone will make a game changer.
Also, I meal prep every Sunday.
Right.
And Monday. I all my food from Monday through Friday afternoon is accounted for. Right. Obviously, look, I'm a person, I'm in my late 30s. I have a social life. I go out with people, so on Friday night, my wife and I might go out for dinner. I might hang out with my friends. I might be going out with you, Hey, right. And you and I tend to go to places like diners and things. And like, it's not even, obviously you want to have social interaction with people, but you don't have to eat, like, I don't have to eat barbecue or like something. Right. And honestly, I eat so healthy. You could eat as long as you're at 80%, right? If you stick to your goals and you actually were to eat Monday through Thursday and the occasional, let's say 2 weekends out of the month, you wanted to have fun and eat whatever you want, you could still live within your means. You could still go to that McDonald's, have that Big Mac. Right. I would recommend personally, there's so much better stuff out there that you could eat if you want to have a cheat meal, quote unquote. Right. Like I love hot dogs. I don't really eat them very much anymore because I'd rather have a better cheat meal.
Right. And Americans, they don't get it. They think, well, I don't eat hot dogs every day. Okay, you don't eat it every day, but what are you eating on the other days? So like, people really, I always say God made over man made is the basic good rule to go by. If it's God made, like eat the orange, don't drink orange juice because orange juice,
and also portion control. Dude, like
wow,
when I eat, man, I'm not typically full when I'm done eating.
Right.
And that's actually, a lot of people eat to excess. There's a very famous movie where like this guy, he overindulges and then he has a mint and then he explodes.
Right.
Because he just wanted one more bite. Like I don't eat to that point. It's unless I'm eating out, right? Like, and I ordered a meal, but like my portions typically are like a 4 to 10 ounce piece of meat with like a very small amount of